Welcome to Chris Cook for You too. Today I'm going to be doing a real old school recipe. It's going to be crackling bread. Now if you're not familiar with this, it's just skins packed inside of cornbread and you eat it with your favorite beans or greens. Okay, so let's get started with the ingredients that you're going to need. Now most people know I don't make the cornbread in my house, so I'm just going to show you a few of these steps. Matter of fact, I'll mix it up and then my daughter will bake it off. For this, you're going to need cornmeal mix. Now the reason you use cornmeal mix is because it already has the flour, it has the baking powder in it, has salt. You don't have to add any of that. All you have to do is have a cup and a half of cornmeal milk mix, and it's sold in your local grocery stores right next to the cornmeal. We like sweet cornbread, so instead of using sugar, we use one package of jiffy mix. Now if you don't make your cornbread like this, it's perfectly okay. You can make it the way that you normally would make your cornbread and everything is going to be fine. Now to that, I'm going to add a cup of milk and a half cup of water along with 3 eggs. Now here is the cracklings. Okay, I got the old time cracklings. Now you can buy them in the store loose like skins and they're not this hard, but these are hard. So what we're going to have to do with these is we're going to cook these on the stove until they get soft. See, these are real hard. So we're going to cook them on the stove until they get soft. Then we're going to come back and add a little bit of the juice and all of the cracklings to the cornbread, and we're going to break it off in the oven 375 degrees for roughly about 35-40 minutes, and it should be fine. So I'm going to meet you at the stove where I'm going to just go ahead and cook up these cracklings and get them ready for this good old time crackling bread. Be right back. Okay, now I'm at my stove and I'm cooking a whole lot of stuff on my stove. So I just got room for this half a pot of water. This is a half a pot of water. And what I'm going to do is to soften up my cracklings, I'm going to go ahead and pour them in this water. And about 3 to 4 minutes, these will be soft enough for me to put into my cornbread. Okay, so I'm going to, you can hear them, they're popping a little bit. Now there is, at markets, at a lot of markets, but I can't find it here in Virginia, they have cracklings that are just loose and you just buy them. You have to cook them for a longer period of time. But this way, if you just get the ones like this, you don't have to cook it as long. And it's really the same thing. A lot of people really don't know it and they don't quite use it this way, but it's really the same thing. So what you want to do is you want to just boil this until it can get kind of flimsy like, and it looks like rubbery kind of shake to it, and then you're going to take it and drain it and you're going to put it into your cornbread. But I'm going to add just a little bit of this water because this water has a lot of flavor in it, and today I'm cooking some rutabagas and I'm also making some beans. So I'm going to take this water instead of throwing it out and I'm going to add it to my rutabagas because that'll give it oh so much more flavor. Alright, so I'm going to go away and continue to get this softened, and once it gets softened I'll bring you back. Now also to my cornbread I add a little bit of cooking oil, and it's used cooking oil, whether it be bacon grease or it be some leftover chicken grease that I've cooked with. So I have that in the stove in my skillet just heating up. I'm going to also add that to my cornbread. So once this gets flimsy, I'll be right back and show you what it looks like. Okay, now we're back and this is kind of flimsy. I'm going to see if I can get one there. I got one. I hate to touch it because this stuff is hot. And I just want to show you how it looks when you know that it's done. See how rubbery it looks? Okay, enough of that. Hand is hot. So I put it back in. Okay, so now it's ready to go over into my crackling bread. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the water off of this, and I'm going to take it because this is good. This is good flavor. I'm going to take this and put it in one of my pots that I'm cooking on the other side of the stove. And then I'm going to bring these back to the table and add them to the crackling bread. So I'll be right back. I just want to show you what it looks like when you would know that this is done enough to take off of the flame so that you can use it in your bread. See how it shakes? Whoa, hot. Okay, be right back. Okay, I'm back. So let's just go ahead and mix this up together. In here, you know, I have my one package of Jiffy mix, and I have my cornmeal mix. Okay, so it's no need to add anything else. No flour, no salt, no baking powder, none of that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and add my milk to this. And of course, as always, the ingredients will be listed on the bottom of the page for you to follow. Okay, now this is for my 12-inch round pan, and this is enough cornbread right here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and add to that, after stirring just a little while, that was my milk, I'm going to add these eggs. Now, if you don't beat your eggs beforehand, you don't really have to, but I'm just going to beat them up to make it easier. All I have to do is just stir once I put it in with my other mix. Now she's using 3 eggs for her cornbread. I normally use 2, but if you want to use 3, use 3. It's only going to make it that much richer in flavor. And if you only have 2, you can use 2 as well. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and mix up that. Now I'm going to add to that my water. You can look in there and see what it looks like now. So I'm going to add my water. I'm going to add just half of that for right now. And if I need the rest, I'll add it because I'm adding these cracklings to the mix. Now you'll mix that up real good, and then you'll go ahead. Here are the cracklings. I'm going to go ahead once they've softened up, and see they're real, I dropped that one, but it's real flimsy now. Can't even pick it up that much. Okay, so I'm going to add to that the cracklings. Remove some of this. Stir those in. Looking good, looking good. And I'm going to add to that. I have my skillet that I had put in the oven. There, almost lost it. That I had put in the oven with my cooking oil in it. And see how much cooking oil I'm using. That's probably about 3 tablespoons full. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. And it's hot because I put it in the oven to allow it to get warm. Now I'm going to stir this into my crackling bread. And that's all you need to do. That's the end of the process right there. Now, it doesn't, if you're, the soupier your cornbread mix is, the softer your cornbread is going to be when it comes out. Okay, the thicker your mix is, the thicker your bread is going to be when it comes out. Okay, so look at this. Okay, trying to get some without the crackling. See, that's a good consistency for cornbread. Okay, and I didn't need to add any more of the water to it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull my skillet up. And I'm going to put this in my skillet. And it's nothing like a cast iron skillet, but if you got a skillet that you favor, which is, this is one that I favor. I know it looks old and beat up, but I've had this maybe about 12, 15 years, a long time. And you just got some dishes or some pots and pans that you prefer to cook in. And this is just one that I truly prefer to cook in. So I'm going to pour my cornbread up. My daughter's sitting there looking at me because I won't use the spatula. So I just grabbed the spatula because I saw her cut her eyes over at me. So I'm just going to use that. Okay, so I'm going to bake this in a 375 degree oven. It probably is going to be ready between 30-45 minutes. But you'll know when it gets ready because you'll be able to look at it and tell. Now I'm going to put this in the oven and I'll bring you back once I get this out of the oven and cut off a piece and let you see what it looks like. Okay, be right back. The cornbread is out of the oven. That's what it looks like. I'm going to give it a few minutes before I cut into it, and then I will cut you a slice and show you what it looks like. Chris is making crackling cornbread. Be right back. Okay, now I'm back, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this cornbread because I think it has cooled enough. It's still hot, but I think it's cooled enough for me to cut through it. And what happens with crackling baked bread, because of the way that the cracklings are actually in the bread, it may not cut out whole. You know how you get a whole slice when you're actually cutting, when you're cutting it and it's nothing else in it. We may not get a whole slice. Well, I guess we did. Okay, there's a piece. You can kind of halfway see the cracklings, but they're also stuck in the pan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the pan and where you can see that they're actually stuffed in there. See, that's what a crackling bread, and it depends on what slice you cut, how much cracklings you're actually going to get. But that's crackling bread. So I'm going to go ahead and just take off a little bit of this to go with, because see right there is where it was actually missing. See, right in there. But that's okay because it's cracklings all throughout. So it's still going to be good. And so I just take this little piece and just stick it back on the bread. Okay, so there you have it. Chris is making crackling bread and I'm serving it with my dinner. So what's going to end up happening is I made a pot of mixed beans, which by now it's already posted online, and I'm serving it with this crackling bread. So I got mixed beans, northern and pinto beans, and a slice of crackling bread. Now, if you're an old southern person, I know you can enjoy this. And if you've ever enjoyed crackling bread, please leave me a comment down in the comment section and let me know that you actually have eaten this, because so many of the younger generations have not. But I can remember this from back in the day, and it was truly, truly divine. So this is what I'm having today, crackling bread. And as always, thank you for watching. Chris Cook for you too, sporting my shirt. Bye.